I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Today, we've got a Week 13 match.
Losing's what I never do. How you supposed to walk with me? I'm 80 steps ahead of you. My mind is on Socrates, all my balls on Rubik's Cube. Every time I do it, I just have to do it beautiful. I can't let this moment pass. Yeah, I know my time is now. Know my mama proud of me, and my grandma smiling down. Every time I turn it up, whole crowd be wildin' out. Matter of fact, let me see your hands. Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all.
Lion, my time, here I go. I am not moving in silence. If it ain't moving. We making movies, moving. I get a chance and take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. Let's hit.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, Week 6, and it was the Eagles who got the win on the road, so now they look to finish off the sweep here in Philly.
On second down, here's Henry. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
Come on. Hit. Unlock line. Hurt.
They'll run for it with Henry. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But at this stage, at that part of the field, but like you said, it worked. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The Eagles at 9-2 to start play. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Henry up the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
60 Maverick! 60 Maverick! 60 Maverick! 60 Maverick!
They go play action with Hurts. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Inside handoff, Henry. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Decent run, maybe hoping for a little bit more. It does, though, set up 3rd and manageable.
And every play that's run, if it's blocked perfectly and executed perfectly, it's set up to go for a touchdown, right? But I like the way you described that one. Just get into a 3rd and manageable, nice decision-making, and took care of the football.
This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it again with Henry. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Hurt! Right there, hurt!
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest-Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, when I looked at, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Henry running right. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Hurts completing this one quickly, and he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
18 runner, 18 runner, 18, right here.
Throwing is Hurts.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The first carry now. This is Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Street. 19 Tiger. Bronco switch.
Again, it's Henry. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the 1st half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
A run with Henry on 1st down, but nowhere to go there as he can't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this 1st half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. He's going to get it again. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Derrick Henry with career touchdown number 128. He's now tied with Marvin Harrison for number 9 on the all-time list. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Prescott.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And he's missed now in his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw there caught by Gallup.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb. Touchdown. CeeDee Lamb.
28 yards.
And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now.
And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Quez Watkins
with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A first down throw for Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now for the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will close the gap down to 14.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
Looking here for Smith downfield.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Malik Hooker.
And the Cowboys will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jimmy Moreland. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Prescott looks to throw on first.
Right back to his running back, Ezekiel Elliott.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by John Johnson.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Pretty good 1st down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts
taking it in from the 20.
And the Eagles take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To the air again, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a 1st.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. To throw is Prescott.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas.
A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Cowboys are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it, and that's caught at the 2. And he's going to get in for the score, and the lead now cut to 14. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Hurts.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
That's their 1st time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback. but just show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different. That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott now. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
But we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Henry again on 2nd down.
Down to about the 22 here.
56 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And caught by Henry. Touchdown, Eagles! Derrick Henry, a 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 23. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. A first down carry by Elliott. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Tackle there by big Jordan Davis.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Prescott. And now here's another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
They have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today.
69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front. Say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On third down, Henry. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A pivot and a give to Henry. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
They go play action with Hurts.
And that will be incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
36 yards on the play. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
meh.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 4th down, Prescott. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles defense able to hold. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Going deep here for Watkins. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
And the Cowboys are going to get the football here at their own 23. But that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
They start on the ground with Elliott.
They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
James Bradbury there to make the tackle. So fly, Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Eagles, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week.